Honestly, I was gonna do this video anyway. I know in the last one I said, guys are interested, let me know, but I just thought, you know what, screw it. I'm actually interested in myself, so yeah, let's not play no games. So yeah, anyway, guys, hi, I'm back. It's me, your friend. It's me, your new best friend, the Fables. Influences for the Guards Part 2. I actually like 40k. 40k is fun. Although I'll be completely honest, some of it is kind of really stupid and annoying, kind of trash. GW, if you're watching this, and I highly doubt it, get off your ass and actually do something good with the freaking concept you created. Let the fandom be the fandom, or don't. I honestly don't care. This you can't ass. Anyway, guys, sorry about that. I had to go on a small tangent. Let's check out this lovely video.
Hi, friends. Much like a guardsman, the arbitrary like threshold that I set for a part 2 of my guard series got absolutely annihilated. So, today I get to talk about my favorite faction ever and look into another 3 awesome guard regiments. Both their general lore and some historical and pop culture influences. And keep in mind, I'm not a historian, so it's possible and honestly very likely I'll miss something or even, God forbid, get something wrong. And if I do, please send a strongly written letter and/or leave a comment below. Let's get into it. So first off, my stand-up teacher told me that 1, this class wasn't a course on how to avoid a sedentary lifestyle, and 2, more relevant to this video, he also told me that the rule of 3 is very important. So boom! This video is actually the third part of the Armageddon series. Let's go, baby!
Oh dang.
So, from part 2, Gaskell left the planet with Yarick hot on his tail. Things are about to get real steamy. No, I'm just kidding. But we will be talking about the Armageddon Steel Legion. The Armageddon Steel Legion obviously comes from the
Dude, they look so cool. I don't know. I like the design of the Armageddon Steel
world
Legion.
of Armageddon Steel. Armageddon. The Steel Legion is most notable for their mechanized infantry doctrines. They're excellent warriors and are said to be one of the best, if not the best, guard regiments in the entire galaxy. The planet of Armageddon is one of the key producers of the Chimera, the Guard's primary armored personnel carrier, and due to this, the Steel Legion has a disproportionately high access to these vehicles for its regiments. This is also why they're called the Steel Legion. It's definitely more catchy than the first option, the Armageddon Chimera APC Legions. The mechanized infantry approach allows the Steel Legionnaires to rapidly attack enemies and remain very mobile. The Chimeras often break through enemy lines, taking out foes with multi-lasers, flamers, and bolters, and then the Guardsmen disembark to kill stragglers and secure objectives. The Steel Legion is also very adept in fighting orcs due to the endless wars going on in their home world. So, let's get into the influences. This one's pretty easy. It is very apparent that the Steel Legion are heavily inspired by the Death Corps of Krieg, and are kind of just lazy recolors. Do better, GW.
They're not.
Of course, I'm just kidding. The Steel Legion came
Oh, look at him. It's so cute.
first and are pretty directly inspired by the World War II Panzer Grenadiers, which were the German mechanized infantry of World War II. The Panzer Grenadiers would fight alongside an armored vehicle that would provide cover fire and help rapidly transport troops. Hi, Crackduck. Oh, hi, Deja Vu. Aesthetically speaking, the Steel Legion wear uniforms that have inspirations from World War II. They're often depicted with helmets that resemble German paratrooper helmets, and by resemble, I mean match 1-to-1, and sometimes they're seen wearing helmets reminiscent of German style helms, and by reminiscent, I mean match 1-to-1. In addition to the helmets, they also obviously wear trench coats, which have been pretty synonymous with the World Wars. Soldiers in the World Wars wore trench coats not only because they look cool as hell, but also because the coats were effective at keeping the wearers safe from the harsh elements that they faced.
Makes sense.
And so the Steel Legion also wore trench coats due to the harsh environments of their home world Armageddon. However, their trench coats are a little bit more extreme. If the constant warfare wasn't enough to make you cancel your Armageddon resort booking, the planet is also known for its horrible, horrible ecosystems. Due to the extreme industrialization,
It's incredibly funny because I don't. To those of you that don't know, Armageddon was actually the or if I remember right, and I don't know if it's changed. I doubt it. Armageddon is literally the orc homeworld. That's why they want it so bad because they keep getting called back to it. Story is that they, if I'm correct, I could be wrong. Story is the fact that Armageddon was once their world. They were supposed to be destroyed or left alone, but the Mechanicus literally said no, and did something stupid, and now it's been called Armageddon, and the orcs keep wanting to come back to it. That's why we had so many stupid wars on it, because the orcs wanted back. But because no one actually knows the truth, besides the Mechanicus and a couple peoples that refuse to say why, it's just kind of funny. I'm pretty sure a lot of what I just said is wrong, but that's okay. I'm not here to be right.
and massive amounts of pollution, this lovely place has the burning waste, the frozen waste, the boiling seas, deadly jungles, and more. If you can think it, Armageddon can ruin it. So, going back to the clothes, regular lame-ass trench coats usually just protect against lame-ass things like water and the weather. But Steel Legion trench coats are resistant to those things, as well as the toxic environments of their home sweet home Armageddon. In addition to the horrible landscapes, the air of Armageddon is also very toxic due to the rampant pollution. So, in that regard, I guess Armageddon is partially based on LA. But this horrible, no good, very bad air means that the guardsmen need to wear gas masks when on the battlefield, lest their lungs burn and wither away. But everybody, let's take a moment to just thank Armageddon for being so gosh darn terrible, because the Steel Legion uniform looks fucking rad as hell. Also, this Steel Legionnaire has a trench coat, an edgy skull mask, and a space katana, so he'd be based on Redditors. Actually, katanas would traditionally have a
Honestly, this is a really cool looking model, though. Like, legitimately.
curved edge,
But I love
and the
the fact
specimen
that he
you
said that.
presented is far too straight, and additionally... Next up, let's talk about the Taller and Desert Raiders. Again, the Taller and Desert Raiders are primarily
The Tolerant Desert Raiders are extremely funny, but they're also a really badass legion.
a mechanized infantry regiment that hail from a planet known for its
Regiment.
wastelands. The Desert Raiders specialize in opportunistic, guerrilla tactics, and tank combat. They're excellent warriors and said to be one of the best, if not the best, guard regiments in the entire galaxy. I've already talked about mechanized infantry twice in this video so far, so just rewatch those parts if you forgot, but mentally replace Steel Legion or German with Talarn. Cool. Next up, another combat doctrine that the Talarn emphasizes is the idea of stealth, swiftness, and the killing blow. These are basically just the principles of guerrilla warfare and have been used by many groups in history. As for their kit, the Talarn wore a distinctive desert combat uniform of loose cotton garments, headscarves, and canvas boots. Headscarves like these, also called kafia, were invented and used by the Bedouins to protect against the harsh sun and dust of the Arabian desert. The Bedouin were a nomadic Arab people who were known for adapting to harsh deserts and being very mobile. Kind of reminds me of a certain guard regiment. In addition to the aesthetics of the Talarn's clothing, they also have some Arabic-style weapons. The Sergeant's Power Sword looks similar to a scimitar, and some of them carry daggers that look like jambia, which originated in Yemen. So I have this sneaking suspicion that maybe, just maybe, the Talarn may just at least a little teensy witty bit be inspired by the Bedouin along with some other Arab fighting forces throughout history. But that's just a theory. One of the most notable inspirations people point out are the Arab fighters in the Arab Revolt during World War I, specifically in the case of Lawrence of Arabia. A lot of guard regiments are more so based on a caricaturized pop culture version of historical things, so this interpretation makes sense. The Talon are also somewhat notable for working unusually close with the Eldar, and this may be a bit of a stretch, but working with an outside group is kind of similar to the Arabs and T.E. Lawrence's story. It is also possible that they're partially inspired by the Fremen at Dune. It's no secret that 40k takes a lot of inspiration from Dune, so it makes sense that they'd have a regiment similar to one of the most important Dune factions. The two warriors have similar
I love the fact that he said Tate's inspiration when in fact freaking IDW literally stole a bunch of stuff from a lot of other freaking literally stole a lot of information, but stole a lot of stuff from a lot of other companies and says, no, it's ours now. So stupid, but it's extremely funny.
equipment
But then they also get mad when you copy them. It's projecting much.
and general fighting styles. However, it should be noted that it's super likely that these similarities just arose because they share the same historical influences. Also, just wanted to point out these fucking awesome Forge World Macaulay riders. They're literally dinosaur riding Talarn. Coolest shit ever. Alright, enough with the danged mechanized infantry regiments. Let's finally talk about the first, the only, the Tanith first and only. The men at Tanith are a light infantry regiment known for their excellent marksmanship, scouting skills, and plot armor that would make an ultramarine blush. They're excellent warriors and said to be one of the best, if not the best, guard regiment in the entire galaxy. The first and only are all that remains of the Tanith people. When Tanith was first called to create its Astra Militarum regiments for the Imperium, it was attacked by a Chaos fleet. The plan was woefully unprepared for such an invasion, and the legendary Commissar Gott evacuated as many of his men as possible.
Yeah, there's only. I think the thing that makes this unit so cool, as well as I think he's about to tell us, is the fact that there's only a set number of them. They're literally a small strike team.
Possible before the planet was destroyed. The survivors of the planet's fall amounted to about 3,500 guardsmen, and they formed a single regiment called the Tanith First and Only, or Gaunt's Ghosts. Oh, wait, I get it. ghosts because their planet is dead and they should also technically be dead. Oh. Although unassuming and often looked down upon due to their seeming lack of discipline and wild dress, the ghosts are excellent scouts with a naturally strong sense of direction and masters in stealth tactics. Oh, I get it. Ghosts because they can move around unseen, kind of like an invisible ghost. Oh. Some notable features of the Tanith kit are their cute little pins commemorating their lost home, a straight silver dagger, and their iconic camo cloaks. Oh, I get it. Ghost because they wear sheets like the cheesy Scooby Doo esque sheet ghost. Oh.
Oh my
All right,
lord,
that one
this
is a bit
man.
of a stretch. A stretch like a stretchy sheet, perhaps? Hmm? Culture wise, the ghosts are mostly based on various aspects of Celtic culture. Most obviously, they have been said to play an instrument known as the Tanith pipes, which are pretty much just space bagpipes. Bagpipes are obviously synonymous with the Scottish people, even though, fun fact, some historians believe that the bagpipes may have originated in Egypt. The Tanith
Interesting.
also have some Celtic sounding names and are described as having a sing song accent, which is often used to describe Welsh accents. I've also heard people say that Tanith are depicted with Scottish and Irish accents in the audiobooks, but I haven't personally listened to them, so I can't really confirm this. Additionally, many of the ghosts have Celtic inspired tattoos. Finally, there are some directly confirmed influences by Dan Abnett himself. He said that he based the Ghost books on the Sharp novel series that follows the titular Sharp during the Napoleonic Wars. The Tanith First and Only have some notable similarities to the 95th Rifles of the Sharp series. Namely, both of the regiments are composed of many elite marksmen. There are also other narrative beats, like how Gaunt's story progression mirrors Sharp's in some ways, but I won't delve too deeply into those. The Tanith also carry those silver daggers around, which are presumably quite sharp, so perhaps that's another reference to the Sharp series. Tanith is also inspired by Sharp in the way that, much like Sharp, it's basically just, what if this book series but in blank? What do I mean by this? Well, Sharp is basically, what if the Hornblower books were on land? And Gaunt's Ghost is essentially, what if the Sharp books were in space? So I'm just hoping this leads to a time loop in which a time traveler drops off a Gaunt's Ghost book onto C.S. Forrester's desk and he's like, oh by golly, this is brilliant. What if I wrote this but on the seas? Starting a loop anew. But that's all for these
What are
fellas. I hope
you
you like the
on
regiments
about?
discussed today. I find all three of them to be very interesting, and I know they're all fan favorites in their own right. I especially like the Steel Legion, but that might just be because I've now spent 3 weeks straight reading about them. Plus, the models really hit that simple but cool aesthetic I really like for the Guard.
Yeah, no, seriously, they do. They're like, they're simplified, yeah, but they're so good. It's, oh, dude, the Steel Legion is awesome.
Simple but cool aesthetic I really like for the Guard. The Talon are also really cool because they kind of break away from the typical European/American influence, and it really plays into the idea of the Guard being various cultures across the world banding together to fight all who oppose humanity. You know, small world style. And finally, everyone already knows why the ghosts are cool. It's the bagpipes, obviously. So again, I want to petition for GW to bring back the dang regiments. I know it'll never happen, but if it did, my heart would be very full and my wallet would be very empty. And this actually worked last time, so I'll set a new stupid arbitrary number. If this video gets 10,000 likes or something, I don't know, maybe like 20 if we're gonna go real Insano style, I'll continue the series yet again. So please let me know what your favorite
Continue.
guard regiment is and what I should cover next. And thank you everyone for watching and supporting the channel. It means a dang world to me. And not like a crappy world like Armageddon or Krieg. Like a cool ass nice world that somebody wants to have, you know? And also, big thanks to my patrons who support the channel a bit extra. Again, I really appreciate it, and I have a lot of plans for the future of this channel, so stay tuned. And as always, please like, comment, subscribe, and consider sharing to all your favorite mechanized infantry units. Thanks. GW's next regiment will be me themed, and their quirk's going to be having poor self control and eating too much. They're called the Darn Dessert Raiders. Okay, that one was the worst one ever.
Oh my god, this man. Anyway, guys, if you like this kind of content, do like, comment, and subscribe. Or if you're interested, I'll check out the Cadian Shock Troopers because they sound like they're amazing. I love Cadians. I love the Cadian faction. They're great. Well, Legion, Regiment, whatever the frick. I love them. They're amazing. Anyway, guys, if you like this kind of content, do like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all to check out the original video and everything. Alright, love you guys. I'll see y'all later. Bye.